Hey there everybody, Matt here from the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel, and today we're going to review Hellblazer Dead in America #1. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. Alright, we got the cover here for John Constantine Hellblazer Dead in America #1. It is a DC comic, and it is by Si Spurrier, Aaron Campbell, and Jordi Belair. And as we turn to the first page, we see that this is actually a continuation of Si Spurrier's previous arc that ran for 12 issues. So he gives us a little catch up so that we know exactly where we're starting in this new series. And we start off in this book with John speaking to an animatronic conquistador that is possessed by an evil spirit. And it's at this Fountain of Youth attraction in Florida. And John is on the run with his two friends, Nat and Noah, and John is wanted for murder back in England. And it seems that John is trying to find out some information, maybe about his murder, maybe about some other stuff from this evil spirit in the Conquistador. But just as he starts making progress with the evil spirit, a Girl Scout who is obviously possessed by a demon barges past Nat, who is waiting outside, and introduces herself to John. And upon arriving, she immediately burns the evil spirit from the Conquistador, and she apparently speaks for a group of demons or supernatural beings that live and thrive throughout the American culture. So once she's done introducing herself, she welcomes John to America by waving goodbye and calling John a dead man. And of course, this whole meeting has left John with an uneasy feeling. But of course, John isn't one to sit and wait for evil to come for him, so he goes outside from where he was meeting with that conquistador, and he finds Nat and Noah waiting for him, and they were about to go on a road trip through America on a stolen British double-decker bus. And we also get introduced to his friends here, since like I said, this is a continuation from the previous series. We get to know a little bit about the two companions. So later that night, as they're driving through the southern United States, John begins to drift off to sleep, and we see a ghostly hand hitchhiking. And this is actually the beginning of a dream, because as the bus stops, we see the ghostly figure enter the bus and approach John. And as John is about to ask this ghostly figure some questions, they turn into Dream and very angrily say that John has lied to them. And that is where I'm going to leave this one. I don't want to spoil anything else. So as you may know, I'm a pretty big Hellblazer fan. I have a Hellblazer podcast where I'm going through every issue, and I'm over 100 issues into that now. So it's safe to say I know a little bit about John and his character. And I actually read the first 6 issues of the original Si Spurrier run, which I thought was pretty good, but I haven't yet got around to reading the second volume of that 12 issues. So where this picks up is also new to me somewhat, but I definitely felt like Si Spurrier did a good job of capturing the essence of Hellblazer and John Constantine. And unlike some of the series in the 2010s, I feel like this one definitely has teeth. Like no one's going to refer to it as Heckblazer as they did to those other ones. It seems that John is in good hands with Si Spurrier at the helm. I also think that Aaron Campbell's art is fantastic. It definitely captures the gothic and horror feel of the title. And I can't wait for this story arc to continue because I know it's going to get more messed up and there's definitely going to be a lot more horror and other elements like that to it. So overall, I think this is a great addition to Hellblazer. Of course, it helps if you've read Hellblazer before, but I don't think you need to necessarily have read any of the other series in order to understand this one. It's nice that they included that catch-up page so that you could just read that and then jump into this new issue. But you could definitely come into this with just knowing the very basics about John Constantine, and you could follow it pretty good. So I'm going to give this comic a 4.5 out of 5. I was very excited about this, and it did live up to my expectations. And obviously I love Hellblazer, so you might think I'm a little biased, but actually I would be more hard on this because I love the character so much. And it did a good job of not disappointing. So if you saw anything you liked, definitely go pick that up at your local comic book store, and we will see y'all in the next one.